25% of the cases, we saw attackers exfiltrating data within 5 hours of initial compromise. That is really, really fast. That means, from a SOC perspective, they got to get to that alert. They got to dig in, figure it out, and try to get ahead of the threat actor and block them in 5 hours. It's a pretty fast turnaround for most organizations.
And are we seeing pre-indicators that can sort of help the defender shrink that time?
So we see a lot of what we call initial access brokers, which means the credentials have been compromised somewhere else, whether that was in a previous breach of that organization or on someone's personal machine that works for that organization. The challenge with that is, if you pop my personal machine, you compromise my personal machine, my SOC can't see that. There's not a whole lot of security tools compared to my enterprise, but that has my credentials potentially from remote login. So we see initial access brokers selling credentials to organizations. That means that attacker now, that second time they come in or the first time they come into the enterprise, they're logging in as you. They're logging in with legitimate credentials. That's a lot harder for a SOC to see. Right now we have to start baselining behavior of where do those logins come in. If they're not using malware, they're just using tools that are inherent in that organization's enterprise, right? We talked about living off the land techniques. Now there's no malware necessarily involved. They're logging in as you, using tools that are already installed by your organization. Now we really have to start doing behavioral analysis and what we call, no normal defined evil. Makes it much harder. We're talking about
no normal defined
evil. That's a quote from SANS Institute training. I'll give them credit. But it's really kind of the premise as a threat hunter, right? You have to understand the behavior that you expect to see and start to look for abnormal things.